director in the GIS Research Center in Fengjia University. I've been host a research center specialized in the GIS application, especially in the disaster management for the past probably 20 years.
How you came to this idea to do it?
Okay. Well, because Taiwan suffered by lots of natural disaster. For example, earthquake. We have almost 1,000, you can feel it, earthquake every year in Taiwan, in this island. And also we have 10 to 15 typhoon during the summer season every year. And it all creates lots of different kinds of natural disaster. So in Taiwan, we have to face those kind of natural disasters. So that's the problem we're facing every year. And it's becoming serious even more because of the climate change. So this is one of the reasons why we try to have some kind of very good high technology, try to learn why it happened, where, and when it will happen. So if we can make some very, very good learning scale, so we know and we can warn the people, and also in the future we might be able to learn how to predict it. So if any kind of natural disaster, because nowadays we can predict some of the climate phenomena, but it's very hard to predict where we'll have very major floods or damage.
Tell me how it works.
Okay. So we work together with meteorology, we work together with Forest Bureau, with Surface Water Conservation Bureau, with Water Resource Bureau. We try to analyze a lot of different kinds of sensors. And those sensors, they catch all the information about the rainfall amount, about the wind speed, the velocity, the humidity, lots of information. So we learn those information and we try to work together with some other scholars who develop very, very useful model. And use those kind of model, we learn how to adjust those kind of parameters and variables, everything. So hopefully we'll be able to make very good early warning through, especially in Taiwan. There are lots of very, very good medium and small size of the enterprise. So all those companies, they produce very, very good sensors, and they can use very, very good technique about using the communication. Like Taiwan is very small, but we develop very, very good for the nationwide, the communication skill and sensor skill. So my center, we specialize how to integrate different kind of sensor from different model, different purpose, and we use some kind of international standards. So we join some of the very important international standard organization, like ISO, like even in the United Nations, or even in the Europe, there is Inspire for the structure. So we join those kind of structure, we try to make standard, we try to persuade all the government officers, try to use the same kind of standards, and then we'll be able to integrate.
Tell me how is installation of the sensors? Who decided in which place should we install the sensor connected with the new system?
Okay, that's a good question. Well, because it's very, very hard, very, very hard. Because most of the original sensors being installed in urban area, urban city, are fully protected. Like there's a very good protection by the theft, very good protection by the rainfall, humidity, everything, easy to get access. But we also need some sensor put in the wild field, like the mountainside, where is very hard to be reached. So we have to have very, very reliable, very good ones. Sensor can be put on the wild field, and it can endure thunderstorm, endure the heavy rainfall, endure the dry, the hot sun, the everything. So in recent years, because of lots of very, very good sensors being developed, and with very good quality and very endurable, so we'll be able to put on very wild field and also catch all those information together. So nowadays we can get not only the information from urban area and also information from slopeland, from mountain, because Taiwan, the entire island, composed by 3/4 of the land are either slopeland or high mountain.
And mountain, the sea coast. How is it in the sea? because very often happen earthquake in the sea,
Yes.
deep in the sea. Do you have also surround Taiwan some sensors?
For my center, we haven't had very good sensors for the coast side or even inside the sea, but we can use some of the meteorology or some of the nature resource satellites. Like some of the satellite, they can receive very good information above the ocean side. So we know the humidity, we know the wind, we can even use our own eye to check those image created by those satellite, the weather satellite. So then we'll be able to predict. But to put some of the sensor in the sea is really hard. In Taiwan, the government they did is put probably 30 or 40 some of the sensors in the ocean, but it's very high cost, and also because it's in the ocean, so it's very easy to be destroyed by some of the very heavy tide or very bad weather. So we still think about how to get very good sensor over the sea. Yes.
How is the future of this development, this kind of warning system? Because we know the areas are across the globe in which are earthquakes,
Yes.
natural disasters. How do you see this to make some networks between the countries, and how do you see this future of this your technology?
Okay. We're now work very close with some of the Asia countries. For example, we work very close with China, Korea, and Japan, because Japan, they also suffer a lot by earthquake, by typhoon, just very similar as Taiwan. So we learn from each other a lot. And also in Korea, and also some of major city in Taiwan. And nowadays we try to move forward to Southeastern Asia country like Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, those countries who also suffer by some of the nature disaster like the flash floods. Like even Indonesia, they have very serious problem with the volcano. So we all learn by each other, and also we all try to share some of the sensor information by each other. So that's why one of the reasons why in Taiwan, my center, we really focus on some international organization, try to create a very standardized information can be shared by each other. Because for weather, for ocean, for land information, it's not only locally, there's no boundary. There's no boundary for the clouds, there's no boundary for typhoon. So we all need to learn how to use every sensors we can, even from the satellite image. So this is one of the things.
Maybe one of the last questions. Several years ago happened the disaster of the Alishan Railway, the move,
Right.
How is now protected this railway Alishan against this kind of...
This is also a very good question, because Alishan is also suffered by a very wet environment, and also we have a very serious typhoon. So there are very potential landslide area along the entire Alishan railway. So the bureau did identify like more than 20 to 30 high-risk potential site of the landslide area, and they already put some sensor, but we try to work together with them and how to integrate those kind of sensors together and make good warning, because the entire railway, it should be under just one standard systems, because they put those kind of sensors like for the past several years is by different company, by different model, by different signal. So what we're trying to promote is they need some kind of standardized information, and they need one integrated system, because for the entire railway to be able to identify where are the major high potential risk area, and also for the other with low potential risk, but there are still some kind of risk. It's the railway running on the high mountain, so it still counts for some of the potential danger.
Last question, what is your message for the people regarding protect the nature?
In Taiwan, it's become one of the being seriously talk about today, because we know we have very scared of the land. We have very little resources. So we try to protect the forest, we try to protect the nature environment, but we're facing those kind of nature disaster. So we try to learn more about if we can escape from those kind of nature disaster. We cannot stop it. We cannot stop the earthquake, we cannot stop the typhoon, but we have to learn when we should go to the evacuation safe shelter before anything might happen, to protect the human life. But for the property, we try to build some high building code one. We try to build some important facility in low risk area. So for the high risk area, we try to make some kind of engineering protection or try to avoid that. So we try to learn how we can survive, or we can get together with conservation of the nature.
Thank you very much for the interview.
Yeah, thank you.